Check this out.
Alright, let me say this real clear, okay? No riding, no hating, just facts. Yeah, I see Big Meech's party going viral. I was there, and I'm gonna be honest, that shit was trash. I expected it to be way better, but I'm gonna speak on this situation from all angles because it's sparking a lot of conversations, and I know how Miami works, and I have the credentials to speak on it, okay? And I'm gonna speak on every angle. Now, starting with Miami. Miami don't give a who you are, where you from, how much clout you got, or how many followers you flexing. Matter of fact, the more money you got, the more we gonna charge you, period. Or the more they gonna skim off the top, because I ain't gonna lie. One thing about Miami...
Listen up. Because what's coming out of the hip-hop streets right now has fans completely shaken. Social media is buzzing, blogs are going crazy, and suddenly everyone is talking about the same headline. Big Meech party was trash. He fell off real bad. Now, before anyone jumps to conclusions, let's be clear, we're not saying this actually happened. We're talking about the kind of wild reports and rumors that are circulating online, the type of stories that turn into instant drama content. But still, the way people are reacting.
Yo, it's Big Ant, the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of Urban Politicians TV, UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in as 50 Cent has decided to jump out there and use his #1 tactic as beef to promote his latest product that he executive produced. Once again, as this time around, it's BMF, as it's going to be a part 2 to the documentary side of the collective that they had.
That's the real story here. According to these so-called reports, what was supposed to be a legendary, star-studded party ended up being a total mess. Fans expected luxury, celebrities, viral moments, the whole larger-than-life vibe. Instead, the internet is claiming the opposite. People are saying the energy was dead, the guest list was weak, and the atmosphere felt nothing like the Big Meech name everyone remembers. And just like that, emotions ran high.
Because I'm not trying to let nobody trick me off the streets. But I never folded, never told, never will. Death before dishonor, always with me.
But
You've got fans in the comments saying, "This can't be real," while others are straight up mocking the situation, posting memes and laughing emojis. Some are even accusing me of losing his influence, saying the era is over, that the legacy doesn't hit the same anymore. And that's where the real conflict starts, because when you build a reputation on power, respect, and mystique, even a rumor like this can feel like a public attack. And what makes it even crazier is how divided people are. One side says this is all fake news, exaggerated for clicks. The other side insists there's inside info and leaked footage that proves something went wrong. Friends of friends, so-called insiders, and anonymous sources are all adding fuel to the fire, each one with a different version of the story. So now the question is this just another internet-created scandal? Or is it the beginning of a bigger narrative about falling off, lost status, and a legend being questioned? Fans are shocked, the culture is watching, and the drama has only just begun. The story starts with what people online are calling a legendary comeback moment that somehow turned into a public embarrassment, at least according to the wave of gossip spreading across blogs and fan pages. The rumors claim that the party was meant to be a powerful statement, something that would remind everyone that the name still carries weight, still carries influence, still commands attention. Instead, the narrative floating around is that the whole thing felt awkward, disorganized, and nothing like the image fans had built.
Ordered in 2021 as a companion project to complement the star-scripted crime drama BMF, which recently concluded its 4-season run on Stars. The show was canceled in October, leaving fans with a cliffhanger when Big Meech, Demetrius Flannery Jr., was arrested by Detective Von Bryant Steve Harris. There has been plenty of speculation regarding why BMF was canceled, with the spotlight on franchise executive producer Curtis 50 Cent Jackson's beef with Big Meech. Sources at the time of the cancellation told Deadline that Jackson and Big Meech's frayed relationship was not the reason BMF ended. Jackson addressed the rumors during the recent chat with Deadline while promoting his ratings juggernaut Netflix docuseries Sean Combs' The Reckoning. BMF was already slightly declining in ratings before the last season started, and they made some creative choices that were, from my perspective, not good choices. Jackson told me in late November, "I know people feel like I turned it off, but the networks would have continued to move forward with the show if it was doing the numbers it had been doing. So it's one thing me saying that the show
in their minds over the years. For people say the venue looked impressive from the outside, with flashy lights and security everywhere, but once guests walked in, the mood was completely off. Some online commenters described the energy as forced, like everyone was pretending to have a good time while secretly checking their phones. According to these reports, the music was loud but not exciting, the crowd was mixed with unknown faces, and the vibe felt more like a random club night than a historic celebration. One fan wrote on social media that they expected a room full of industry heavyweights, but instead, they saw influencers trying too hard and a lot of empty space near the VIP area. Another claimed that the biggest surprise was how quiet people became when the main guest finally appeared, not because of respect, but because no one knew how to react. Emotions ran high, not in a dramatic way, but in a confused, uncomfortable way that left people whispering instead of cheering. The most talked about moment, according to these so-called inside stories, happened when a group of friends allegedly started arguing near the bar. One person was overheard saying that the party felt fake, that it was all for cameras and social media, not for real connection. Another person fired back, saying people should be grateful just to be invited. But even that response sounded defensive. Fans are shocked because these little details are what made the story explode. Not some big scandal, but a collection of small moments that painted an unflattering picture. Then came the online reactions, which made everything even more dramatic. Memes started popping up within hours, comparing the party to low-budget events and joking that the legend had turned into a regular night out. Some fans tried to defend the situation, saying that not every party needs to be perfect, and that rumors always get exaggerated. But others were ruthless, saying this proved that the hype was gone and that the name no longer carried the same magic. According to one viral post, someone close to the circle claimed that there was tension behind the scenes even before the event started. They said there were disagreements about the guest list, about who should be invited and who should be kept out. Some people wanted to keep it exclusive, while others pushed for a bigger crowd to make it look more impressive online. That clash of ideas allegedly created stress, and that stress translated into the awkward atmosphere everyone felt. Another dramatic detail that fans keep repeating is the story about a supposed confrontation between two longtime friends. The rumor goes that one of them felt ignored during the party and accused the other of chasing clout instead of loyalty. Witnesses online claim voices were raised, drinks were spilled, and security had to step in to calm things down. True or not, this version of events has added a whole layer of betrayal and emotional conflict to the narrative. What really fueled the fire was a short clip that started circulating, showing people standing around looking bored, with empty dance floors and no visible excitement. The clip is only a few seconds long, but it became the main piece of evidence for everyone pushing the fallen-off storyline. Fans started saying things like, "This is not what a legendary moment looks like. This is not how icons are celebrated." Even those who doubted the rumors admitted that the video did not help the situation at all. Family reactions also became part of the drama, at least in the way fans talk about it. Some online users claimed that relatives were disappointed, saying they expected something more meaningful and respectful. Others said family members were upset because the event focused too much on image and not enough on real connection. The family was left divided, at least in the fictional way the internet loves to imagine. With some defending the night and others questioning what went wrong, friends of the circle allegedly tried to shift the narrative by saying that the party was never meant to be about impressing people, but about celebrating survival and history. They argued that the internet only saw one angle and turned it into a whole story. Still, those explanations did not stop the wave of jokes and criticism. Once a rumor takes control, it becomes bigger than any clarification. Fans are shocked, not just by the idea that the party was bad, but by how quickly public opinion turned. One day people were praising the comeback energy. The next day, they were saying the legacy was fading. Emotions ran high in comment sections, with supporters fighting critics, each side convinced they knew the truth. Some said this is what happens when legends try to compete with modern clout culture, while others said people are just addicted to tearing down anyone with a big name. The most dramatic twist in these reports is the idea that the main figure himself supposedly noticed the shift in energy. Some claim he looked uncomfortable, that he kept checking his surroundings, that he realized the crowd was not reacting the way he expected. Again, this is all based on online speculation, but it added a layer of personal tension to the story. People began to say that this was not just about a bad party, but about a moment of realization, a moment where the past image collided with the present reality. As the night went on, the rumors say that more guests quietly left early, making the venue feel emptier and emptier. Those who stayed allegedly tried to save the vibe by dancing harder, laughing louder, and posting positive clips online. but the damage was already done, at least in the narrative being built. The internet had decided on its version of events, and no amount of late-night energy could change that. By the next morning, the blogs were full of dramatic headlines, each one more exaggerated than the last. Some claimed a party proved that the era was over. Others said it was just another example of fake news culture. But one thing was clear in the way fans talked about it. This was no longer just a party story. It had turned into a symbol of expectations versus reality, of legends versus modern hype, and of how quickly a narrative can flip in the digital world. What started as a supposed celebration became a full-blown drama saga, with accusations, emotional reactions, and endless speculation. Fans are shocked because they are not just watching a story. They are participating in it, shaping it with every comment, every meme, every reaction. And in this version of events, the real conflict is not what actually happened at the party, but how the story of it took on a life of its own. And once the story took on that life of its own, people started adding more layers to it, turning a simple rumor into something that felt like a full reality show episode. Suddenly, there were new voices claiming they had been there, that they had seen things no one else noticed. One person said the seating arrangement alone showed something was off, with important-looking tables left half empty while random guests filled the center of the room. Another claimed that the so-called VIP section felt more like a waiting area, with people standing around pretending to network but clearly bored. The online narrative kept evolving. Some fans started saying the problem was not the party itself, but the expectations. They argued that people wanted a movie scene, something cinematic, and anything less was going to be labeled as a failure. But critics fired back, saying that when you carry a legendary name, the standards are different. Emotions ran high because this was no longer about one night. It was about identity, reputation, and whether the past still holds power in the present. Then came the emotional testimonies, at least as the internet describes them. One alleged guest wrote a long post saying they felt disappointed because they had traveled far, spent money, and genuinely believed they were going to witness something historic. Instead, they said they spent most of the night scrolling on their phone and watching people take selfies with drinks they barely touched. Another claimed that the music selection felt outdated, that it did not connect with the younger crowd, which made the whole event feel disconnected from modern culture. Fans are shocked by how personal these reactions became. People were not just judging the party, they were projecting their own feelings onto it. Some said they felt betrayed, like the image they had believed in for years suddenly cracked. Others said they felt embarrassed for defending it earlier, only to see the memes and jokes flood their time. The family was left divided in the story fans created, with some fictional relatives being portrayed as proud, and others as quietly disappointed. One of the biggest twists in the ongoing drama was the rumor that a well-known face was invited but never showed up. According to these online claims, their absence was noticeable, and people started whispering about it during the event. Some said it was a sign of tension, others said it was just a scheduling issue. But in the world of gossip, every absence becomes a statement. Every silence becomes a message. Another so-called insider added that there were last-minute changes to the plan, that some performances were canceled or shortened, which made the night feel rushed and incomplete. This person claimed that organizers were stressed, running back and forth, trying to fix technical issues and calm nervous guests. Again, none of this is confirmed, but it added to the image of chaos behind the scenes, an image fans were quick to believe because it matched the narrative they already accepted. The most dramatic part of the story, according to the blogs, was the emotional reaction of the main figure when he allegedly overheard people criticizing the event. One rumor says he confronted someone directly, asking why they were spreading negativity instead of enjoying the moment. The other person supposedly responded by saying they were just being honest, that the vibe was not what they expected. Fans are shocked by this imagined exchange because it adds a layer of vulnerability, showing a legend facing criticism in real time. From there, the story shifted again. Some fans began to defend him more aggressively, saying that people are too quick to tear down anyone with a strong past. They argued that the internet loves downfall narratives, that it does not matter what actually happens as long as the headline sounds dramatic. Critics, however, said this was not about hate, it was about accountability, about recognizing when something does not live up to the hype. Even the photos from the night became part of the debate. Supporters shared pictures of smiling faces, dancing crowds, and bright lights, claiming this proved the party was a success. Skeptics pointed out the empty corners, the lack of big names, and the forced smiles. It became a visual battle, with each side choosing the images that supported their version of reality. Friends of the circle allegedly tried to calm things down by saying the internet only saw fragments, not the whole experience. They claimed there were meaningful conversations, emotional reunions, and private moments that cameras never captured. But in a world where everything is judged by what goes viral, those unseen moments did not matter. What mattered was the story people believed, and that story was already written in their minds. By this point, the drama had shifted from a party rumor to a cultural debate. Fans were not just asking if the night was good or bad, they were asking bigger questions about legacy, relevance, and how fame works in the digital age. The emotions ran high because everyone saw something of themselves in the story. The fear of being forgotten, the pressure to stay relevant, the pain of public judgment, and through all of it, the original event almost disappeared. What remained was a fictional version, shaped by comments, reactions, and endless speculation. The party itself became less important than the narrative around it, proving once again that in online culture, perception is more powerful than reality, and once a story starts rolling, it is almost impossible to stop it. And as that perception kept growing, the story moved into an even more emotional phase, where people started connecting this one night to a much bigger timeline. Fans began revisiting old interviews, past moments, and legendary stories, comparing them with the current rumors. The contrast became the main source of drama. People were saying things like, "Back then the name meant power. Now it feels like just another headline." Emotions ran high because it felt like watching a hero get judged by a new generation that never experienced the original era. Some fans claimed they felt a strange sadness instead of anger. They said it was not funny anymore. It was uncomfortable, like seeing someone struggle to live up to their own legacy. One viral comment said the party did not look bad, it looked tired. That one word sparked a whole new wave of reactions. People debated what tired really meant. Was it the energy of the crowd, the concept of the event, or the pressure of trying to recreate something that belongs to the past? Then came the stories about conversations that allegedly happened in quiet corners of the venue. According to gossip pages, a group of close friends were discussing whether this whole situation was being taken too lightly. One person supposedly said that the internet was being unfair, that no one deserves to be judged by a few clips. Another replied that perception is reality now, and once people decide something fell off, it is almost impossible to change their minds. Fans are shocked because these imagined dialogues feel too real, too relatable, like something that could happen in any circle facing public pressure. Another dramatic twist came when someone claimed that a younger guest openly questioned the relevance of the name. The rumor says they asked why everyone was acting like this was a historic moment, when they barely recognized most of the faces in the room. This supposed comment spread fast, not because of who said it, but because of what it represented: a generational gap, a shift in culture, and a reminder that fame does not automatically transfer across time. Family reactions became even more emotional in the online narrative. Some fans imagined relatives feeling protective, saying the world should respect the past instead of mocking it. Others imagined family members feeling frustrated, saying the situation could have been handled better, with more planning and less focus on social media. The family was left divided in these stories, with love on one side and disappointment on the other, creating a classic reality drama setup. What made everything more intense was how personal fans took it. People started sharing their own experiences of disappointment, comparing the party rumors to moments in their own lives where expectations did not match reality. One person wrote that they once reunited with old friends hoping to feel the same connection, but realized everyone had changed. They said the party story felt exactly like that, a reunion with a memory, not with the present. The blogs kept feeding this emotional angle, using phrases like fallen legend, lost magic, and end of an era. Critics argued that this language was unfair and exaggerated, but it worked. It kept people talking, kept people invested, kept the drama alive. Fans are shocked, not just by the story, but by how easily they became part of it, refreshing pages, reading comments, and forming opinions based on strangers. Another rumor added fuel by claiming that there was a private moment where the main figure supposedly admitted feeling misunderstood. The story goes that he said people only see what they want to see, not the effort behind the scenes. Whether true or not, this version made the narrative more emotional, turning the situation into a story about being judged, about trying to prove yourself in a world that already decided your outcome. Friends in the circle were described as being split into two groups. One group wanted to ignore the noise, move on, and focus on future plans. The other group wanted to address the rumors directly, release statements, and defend the night publicly. This internal conflict added another layer to the drama, making it feel like not just an external attack, but an internal struggle about how to respond to criticism. Even fans who did not care about the original event started paying attention because of the emotional storytelling. It was no longer about a party. It was about identity, relevance, and the fear of being replaced. The narrative tapped into something universal, the idea that no matter how big you once were, time keeps moving, and the audience keeps changing. By this stage, the story felt less like gossip and more like a scripted series, with characters, conflicts, and emotional arcs. Supporters played the role of loyal defenders, critics became the harsh judges, and the main figure was cast as someone caught between the past and the present. Emotions ran high because everyone could see a reflection of themselves in at least one of these roles. And in this version of events, the The real twist was not what happened that night, but what people believed it represented. The party became a symbol of pressure, of legacy, of how quickly admiration can turn into doubt. Fans are shocked because they realize the drama is not about one person or one event, but about how fame itself works in a world where stories travel faster than reality, and where every moment can be rewritten by the crowd. So after all these rumors, reactions, and emotional twists, the biggest question is still hanging in the air. Was this really a moment that proved something fell off? Or is this just another example of how the internet creates a story and then forces everyone to live inside it? Fans are shocked because no one truly knows what happened beyond the clips, the comments, and the gossip. All we really have is a narrative built by reactions, opinions, and imagination. And that alone shows how powerful online culture has become. Some people see this as the end of an era. Others see it as a lesson about expectations and hype. Maybe the truth is somewhere in between. Maybe the night was just a normal event that got turned into a dramatic headline because controversy always travels faster than positivity. The family was left divided in the way fans describe it. Friends were split between defending and questioning, and the audience is left to decide which version of the story feels more believable. Now it is your turn to think about it. Do you believe these reports, or do you think this is just another case of exaggerated internet drama? Do you feel like legends should always live up to their past? Or is it unfair to judge people based on old images? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this kind of story only exists through conversation and reaction. If you enjoyed this breakdown and you want more reality-style drama, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next story. Your opinion matters here, and the more you engage, the more these conversations grow. So tell us, is this a real fall-off, or just another fake narrative created by the digital world?